yeah, I was talking to somebody and they were saying that it's, we definitely should be on LinkedIn and have a big presence there because there's a lot of creators and a lot of professionals on LinkedIn that are a really good target audience for INLEO. So I'm getting more active on there, cross posting all the shorts and the videos and the written content that I do from my account, putting it on LinkedIn and then sharing it. So if you guys are on LinkedIn, um, go follow me there. And whenever I share something, repost it and do all the things. Um, I will share my latest LinkedIn post in the Threadcast, and then you can find me there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just another outlet for us at the end of the day.
Yeah, and speaking of which, and since we are like I know Sunseeker, she's focused a lot of time, well, a lot of resources into creating content for the YouTube platform. And actually, a couple of days ago, a beta program came out about YouTube, and we should. Well, I'm gonna outline a strategy that we can use, and then we can talk about it with the team. But basically, small creators under 500,000 followers or subscribers are eligible for this program. And basically, what they're doing is letting any subscriber or any normal user, any user on YouTube, you have three like super likes or super shares. They are called hypers or hype buttons. I have no idea how they're called, but something related to hype. And then if a user uses their hype button or their hype emoji with you, you get a lot more exposure, and the algorithm picks up these hype reactions, and they assume that the content is very, very good because someone spent one of their 3 weekly hype reactions with you. So what we can do as well is ask all of the lions to use their hype reactions with INLEO content, because they are testing it in Turkey, Brazil, and I don't know which. It's 3 countries, so it's working amazingly, and small creators are getting a lot more exposure and a lot more followers just through this hype reaction. So we should definitely use it.
Nice. Yeah, let's yeah, you said you're already working on a plan for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Cool.
mean it's gonna be pretty simple, but if you upload, I don't know, 5 shorts per week, maybe we can focus on the Monday one, the Thursday one, and the Saturday one. Depending, I'm gonna check when is the best time to go viral on YouTube, depending us well in the time zones, and then we can ask Santika to put the best content on those days so that when they go viral, they actually attract people.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Add it to the list. Um, sweet. Let's uh let's dive into the data a little bit. So obviously it's been you know, just getting back from Hive Fest in Croatia. So it's been a pretty hectic past like 7, 8 days. So we missed, basically because I left last Monday. So missed the AMA last week and this week, Chain Chatter last week and this week, growth last week. And then obviously we've got the growth call this week. And then next week we'll be back to fully scheduled programming. But yeah, it's been an exciting couple of days, over at Hive Fest. You guys have probably seen, but the Dash team. So the Dash team had a representative at Hive Fest. So shout out to Starkers for helping organize that. I think Starker said he met him in Vegas or at some other conference, and then invited him to Hive Fest. And then Hive like sponsored, I think, some of the costs to bring him there. Um, but his name is Joel, and I met him at Hive Fest, and then I was talking to him a bit, and he actually hadn't used Hive in like 4 years, but he was at one point on Hive, and also the Dash team as well was on Hive making blog posts 4 years ago, kind of during the last bull cycle. Um, and uh, and then they obviously took like a 4 year break. It just basically the general gist of what he told me is that the platform wasn't where he wanted it to be in terms of like social interactions and boostability and the types of content that could be created. And then at Hive Fest, I was actually showing him INLEO and showing him threads and showing him shorts. I also showed him the labs UI, and I showed him some of the stuff that we've been working on that you guys haven't even seen. So I was showing him all that, and he got really excited. And he said, this is a really good platform and kind of what he's been waiting for in terms of on-chain social media. So, we talked about some things that we could work on together in terms of integrating Dash from a technology standpoint, and then also bringing the entire Dash user base to INLEO. If we could get these things, there were kind of three main things that we talked about. If we could get these things in order, then basically we determined that we could onboard a lot of people from Dash to INLEO and vice versa. So obviously Dash, so the funny thing too, he actually learned about Leo at the Rare Evo conference in Vegas, which I was also supposed to be at, but couldn't make it to last minute. So Leo Dex was actually featured in the Maya booth at Rare Evo. We sponsored part of the Maya booth. Um, so Joel was actually there, and he saw Leo Dex, and he kind of looked at it a little bit, and then when I was telling him about Leo, he's like, "Oh, he's like, I didn't realize that Leo owns Leo Dex. Like Leo Dex is a part of InLeo, the entire ecosystem of Leo." So he actually had heard of us, but he had only heard of Leo Dex. He had no idea about the social media app for InLeo. So um, it was it was a really cool conversation because then I kind of walked him through, how InLeo works as the flagship app of the Leo ecosystem, but then we also have, Leo Dex obviously as well. So it was cool to kind of show him all that stuff and then get him excited about what we've been building with InLeo. So, since Hive Fest, he obviously got back a couple days ago, and then he started, he got his account set up. He started posting again on Hive, but using exclusively InLeo to make threads, shorts, and blog posts from his personal account. And then he also got the Dash account back online. So now they're also doing blogs, shorts, and threads from InLeo as well. So I mean, literally the official Dash team is now on InLeo. So that's really exciting. So please go follow them. I will link both of their accounts right now in the threadcast. Um, and just putting their accounts. So I just posted the two accounts. So Dash, oh, I misspelled Dash account. Dash Pay is the account. So Dash Pay and then the Desert Linux are the two accounts. So obviously the official account and then Joel's account. So go follow them. They've been really active. They just started posting shorts from the Dash account this morning. So you can actually go and watch some of the shorts from them, or if you're in the shorts feed, you'll probably start to see them show up. So give them some votes. Most importantly, comment. Give them engagement. Engage on their content. Show them that InLeo is a platform where people are very engaged and interested in crypto content. So if you engage with them and interact with them, it's going to encourage them to obviously be more active and bring their audience. They've also already started sharing their referral link. So I showed him the entire referral program, and I showed him the referral dashboard, and he found that really exciting. He told me that that's really awesome, and so they already started sharing their referral link to their community, and they're working on onboarding people. So that's really exciting for us. Obviously, our mission for 10,000 monthly active users requires that we start linking up with a lot of other ecosystems and start bringing people on board. So I think it's really important that we get these partnerships, and then once we do get them, like we did with Dash, you guys need to be active, engage with them, share their content, make sure they're getting a lot of comments and upvotes, and make sure that they feel like there's a lot of activity going on. So something that Taskmaster's talked a lot about is make sure that we're not a ghost town. Like if people come here, you want them to come to a vibrant ecosystem and platform, one that really has a lot of people and a lot of engagement. That's what's going to make people stay at the end of the day. It's no one wants to come to a place that there's nobody active and around. Like you don't want to walk into a town and see nobody around. So make sure that when they come here, they see a lot of people and a lot of happy faces that are excited to see them. Would be my public service announcement. So with that, I obviously am very excited. I think that this is one of many partnerships that we're going to have this year. I know Eric's working on a lot more, and kind of chasing down these 10,000 monthly active users is just, I can't stress how important it is right now. We're kind of in the home stretch. We worked really hard this year to set all of this stuff up, both from a technology standpoint, from a bug fixing standpoint, from a sign up standpoint. The referral system, shorts, all the things that we've been building have kind of led us to this point. So now it's time to kind of, we planted the seeds, and now it's time to kind of reap the rewards of it and get to 10,000 mouse. So with that, Eric, do you want to walk us through some of the data? What are the current statistics in terms of monthly active users, thread counts, all the good data that you pull from SQL?
Yeah, and well, before that, I just want to give a little more power to what you said. So some people just write to me and say, "Hey, how's marketing going?" And yes, of course, like if you work on marketing or in business, you know that it's not all like you. There are different strategies, and for marketing specifically, you don't want to have constant marketing. Like on a daily basis. You want to have campaigns. You have seen how we've done that with a few campaigns at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, etc., etc. And you want to be ready for the influx of users that will come. So when people ask me right now, "Hey, how's marketing going?" I tell them, "Hey, we're going to close the year the best way possible. We first needed to be ready for that. Now we're ready, so the users will come. But if you want to just onboard the same amount of users every single month, it's not going to happen unless you want to really spend a lot of money." So yeah, I just wanted to get that for those who have been writing messages to me on Discord. And regarding numbers, it seems that August, which was our record-breaking month, it's a little bit higher than what we're doing in September. But September is still our best month in terms of monthly active users so far to the 18.
Eric, I think your audio cut out.
Yeah. I was receiving a call from a
Oh,
Telegram
okay.
scammer.
All right, you're good.
Yeah, these guys, they see that I what's the word? I admin the INLEO Telegram, and they just want to call you and they literally just want to scam you. So well, we have 1,200 users, 1,200 monthly active users up to the 18th of the month. That's the best number after August. August, as I said, was our best month. So yes, we are just coming out of our best month, but that doesn't mean that we cannot trump that month. In fact, I'm personally aiming for 3,000 users at the end of this month. And like Carl said, I have something big. Well, not something big, but the final push, you'll start seeing it. And all I ask from the Lions is to interact with the people that are going to come. We recently had a mini influencer. She has like 16,000 followers on X. She shared her referral link on X. She had some interactions, and some people already used her trying to find her DMs. Some people already used her referral link. So I'm trying to find her username. Oh, okay, I'll find it later. But the thing is, people are going to start using their referral link, people with a follower base on X. So all I ask from you is for you to interact with the people that you see coming into INLEO. In terms of threads, we are pretty much around the median of the past months. It's the fifth best month. We are at 810 monthly active threaders. We are 52,000 threads up to the 18th. That's pretty much the median, like the average. The average is just 1 second, 49. So yeah, we're a little bit above the average. We don't have as much content creators as we had the past couple of months. So we are the third best month, but July and August were definitely better. We are at 790 versus 830 and 990. So I'm gonna ask Sansika and Idiosyncratic what they see is happening with the content creation side of things, and I'm gonna run some numbers to see who came back, who hasn't come back um, to that side. Because if you, oh yeah, it's the content creators. So we have a deficit of 150 monthly active users in total, and we have a deficit of 200 content creators versus the same day in August. So yeah, that's alarming.
Yeah, maybe there's something wrong with publishing. So if you guys in the audience and then Eric and the team go test the long form publishing and let me know if you find any issues with it. Post a thread with hashtag feedback so we can fix that stuff. When there's a huge drop like that, I definitely would consider that there could be something from a bug standpoint that's preventing people from posting. But again, if you don't screenshot it and give us steps to reproduce in a feedback thread, the odds of us finding it on our own is pretty low. So
Yeah,
yeah, PSA to always be looking for that stuff, because stuff just randomly breaks sometimes. This past kind of 8 to 10 days, there's been a lot of Hive API issues. So, you know, that's why I always say, like, we can get to 99% bug free. You'll never be fully bug free because we're relying on certain APIs, and then there's just, we add new features and things get broken. And, even if we don't, like, if you literally just don't do anything and you just wait, things will just start breaking. That's just kind of how the nature of software is. Things just kind of break over time naturally. So, report that stuff. Always, it's a dynamic game. So, the more you guys report stuff, the faster we fix it and find it, obviously.
yeah, exactly. And this is actually so commenters, well, content consumers, we are this is probably one of our worst months. And in terms of comments made, it's our worst month. So I'm sure there's something going on. I'm gonna test what's going on with the comment sections and with the publishing sections, because yeah, this is weird. We have 2,900 comments, and the average is 3,400. So we are 500 comments below the average. Yeah, that's weird. Hmm. Yep. But doesn't look like a bad month. It's gonna close like a better month, definitely. And probably post chart of the monthly active users. Yep.
Yeah, Sunseeker said, on top of checking the feedback daily, we're extracting all the threads with Hive SQL, and going through anything that might get missed in other searches. So it's really useful when you tag all the reports correctly and include as much information as possible. Yeah, exactly. My entire Hive Fest presentation was kind of centered around the idea of putting everything on chain. That was literally the subtitle of my talk. And that includes feedback. So putting your feedback on chain by making a thread, tagging it hashtag feedback, it kind of gives like this immediate effect that it put it right in front of the team's face, and we can fix stuff. And then it also kind of has a long-term impact where all that data and information is getting indexed. So one day you could kind of imagine that LeoAI is scraping all that information and can actually like ping us in real time, with if multiple people start reporting the same thing. LeoAI could literally have a notification system for the dev team and then literally notify us immediately when something's broken, just based on your feedback. So, kind of a short-term look and a long-term look at why it's valuable to post threads with hashtag feedback and include as much info as you can. Um, the short term is that we watch the feed constantly, and like Sunseeker said, we're even pulling SQL information and just organizing everything, making sure that the devs have as good of a data source as possible for fixing bugs. And then the long term impact of Leo AI potentially being kind of like a co-pilot for our dev team, and notifying us in real time when stuff is broken. So keep posting those threads, and tag them properly, and it really just helps us out and builds like you're doing such a valuable thing for the platform. So keep doing it.
Yeah, trying to get this chart going. But yeah, people are asking on the Threadcast, and this is kind of sort of related to marketing, but how was Hive Fest, and what did you see, or how was Hive Fest in general?
Yeah, Hive Fest was really good. There was so much. There's just so much that happened at Hive Fest, honestly. But obviously the Dash thing was a huge point. The presentation I gave got a good response when I jumped off stage. A lot of people came up to me and were talking to me, and they're excited about um, really two major things I talked about. In terms of future features, were really exciting to people there. One was creator subscriptions, and the other one was Leo AI. So for creator subs, I'm roughly targeting next Tuesday, before the AMA. I'm really pushing the dev team hard, and I have been for the past week, to get this done and rolled out. So it will allow, if you haven't heard, without getting too much into it, because this is more for growth, not for this is more for growth, and it's not the AMA. It will allow any of you guys to launch your own creator subscription. So other users can subscribe to you and pay you an amount. And we're going to basically, I think we're going to have most likely three payment options. I'm still kind of thinking about it, that you can choose from as a creator. So you can choose to charge $5, $10, or $20 a month. That's kind of the rough plan right now. And you can choose what to charge, and then users can pay that to you monthly. And then INLEO, the Leo token, takes a small percent cut from that, and then you get the rest as the creator. And that will allow you to also have private content. So it will be encrypted content, where if a user is subscribed to you and they're logged in with that account that is subscribed to you, then they can decrypt the private content that you're posting on chain. So it still goes on chain, but it's encrypted. They'll be able to decrypt and read that content. So you'll be able to do threads and blog posts. And then we're also trying to figure out shorts and long form video as well. So at launch, I think it's just going to be threads and blog posts that you'll be able to do as private content. And then shorts and long form videos will probably become available shortly thereafter. And I think this is going to be just a huge point of growth for the entire platform. One of our main, and this was also part of my talk, the two main things, the value proposition of INLEO. One is monetization, and the other one is censorship resistance. So obviously with censorship, everything goes on chain, so you can't be censored at the end of the day. Like even if the whole platform of INLEO went down, you could still get your data directly from the blockchain. And then the other one of monetization, that's one that's really exciting to a lot of people out there, and a really big point for onboarding, in my opinion, is that there's a lot of people creating content all over social media and getting paid nothing for it. And even if they could get paid 1 penny, that's 1 penny more than they're getting everywhere else. So monetizing people and their accounts, I think, is going to be a huge way that we grow this platform. And after I talked about creator subscriptions on stage, a lot of people came up to me and they said they've been waiting for something like this, because they've launched Substacks or Patreons, and they just simply don't have the audience to make much money from it. But these are people that are well known on Hive. Like if I told you their username, you'd recognize it and you would know them. So these people are well known on Hive. they've been waiting for a way to kind of charge their audience and monetize their audience in exchange for added value. So you can imagine, someone like a Taskmaster, has built a big audience on Hive, but he has no way of monetizing his account outside of, the 7-day payout window. So, this brings a whole other added layer of monetization in addition to, so 3 ways of monetization that we've kind of added. You got the 7-day creator window that we all have been using for years on Hive, but then you also have the referral program that just launched. So now you can bring in new users and you get paid for bringing in new users. So it's a whole new way of monetizing your account and monetizing your audience. And then the third one is creator subscriptions. So, being able to, provide extra value to your audience and charge them a subscription. So someone else came up to me who's a well-known writer on Hive, and he has been wanting to do something where his audience would be able to support him, but he actually said he didn't have a use case for the private content. And I said that that's totally fine, because all he needs to do is actually just, he can make an agreement with his audience that, like, hey, by subscribing to me, you're actually supporting me. So he can continue to make all his content available publicly, but charge, that kind of $5 or $10 fee a month. And by doing that, you're actually just donating to him. So you just have a monthly donation that you give to him, more like a Patreon. So, there's just so many use cases. Another one is the Hive borehole project. So I actually talked to, another exciting thing that happened at Hive Fest. I talked to, the guy that's obviously in charge of that. And I was telling him, like, the majority of the funding for the borehole project comes from the DHF. And I was saying, another cool way to get support from the Hive ecosystem could be to launch a creator subscription under the Hive borehole account. And then people could actually donate by subscribing, and that would work like a Patreon. And I said he could also do, private calls or private threads, private blog posts to the people that subscribe, and shout them out and give them extra value if he wanted to, or just have people donate. And what we've done is create a system where people can easily donate. So the use cases for creator subscriptions are endless. Like, it's just what you guys want to make of it. So I'm really excited for this to come out, and that was an exciting part of Hive Fest, is when I talked about it, people really understood the idea of what we're building, and they're excited about it. They've been waiting for it for so long. I think it's going to really change the dynamics of monetizing on Hive. So, I think there's going to be a lot of interesting use cases. I've got a really cool use case in mind that I'm actually going to launch through my account. So when creator subscriptions go live, I'm going to have my own creator sub live where you guys can subscribe to my account. And then I'm going to do some really cool, like, private events and stuff where you guys can interact with me more closely. And get more of a behind the scenes look at INLEO development and LeoAI, and maybe even get early access to certain features. So I've got some cool stuff planned for how I plan to use the feature, and I'm hoping to see kind of more people take advantage of that. I just think that adding these tools and building out that monetization is going to have a big impact on growth. And obviously this is the growth call, so bringing it all back to growing the ecosystem, both in terms of users and monetization. One other big feature, I think, obviously we can get into this more in the AMA, is that during a threadcast, one of the new features is going to be, if you're a subscriber to the creator can have certain extra features added to the threadcast. So they could do subscriber only mode, where only subscribers would be able to reply to the threadcast. So that's one thing. Or you can just have filtering, where you can filter by subscribers or non-subscribers. So, for example, in this threadcast, I could filter that if you're in the threadcast and replying, I can filter it and say I only want to see subscriber thread replies to this threadcast, and I don't want to see the non-subscriber ones, which would actually, like, you've seen the problem where, some people go live, like, maybe Taskmaster for the Lion's Den each Friday, and it's hard to keep up with all the threads. He could make it so that it's subscriber only. So if you're a subscriber of Task, then he will read your threads before he reads everybody else's. So it's just an added feature. It just gives more value to the audience, gives more value to the creator. And I think it's going to be a huge impact on onboarding, new creators and new authors, because at the end of the day, they're looking for ways to monetize. So we're just trying to give them those tools. Walter said, how much for the Cal subscription? I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I think we're going to do $5, $10, and $20 as the options that you can choose from as a creator. I may just go the middle road and choose $10. That's kind of my rough plan. So we'll see.
Nice. I was considering we so previous social fi experiences based their whole business model on subscription based information. So that mixed with how OnlyFans or Substack works and being all on chain. And I don't know if you have decided how you're going to do it, if you're going to encode, not encode, encrypt the content, or and use the memo keys for this kind of thing, or if they're going to be off chain, or what's going to happen. But in the end, when you tell people, yeah, it's going to be on chain, but it's going to be encrypted, geek people will just love the concept. And in general, one of the things that I have told people and projects in the past few weeks is that we preach that we are Web3 oriented and we're pushing Web3 past the boundaries of the industry, and yet we only use Web2 for our outreach. So the more features that we have on INLEO, the more arguments we're going to have for projects and for people to tell them, hey, why are you using this instead of using INLEO if we have the very same service or the very same product? So yeah, can't wait for only Leos.
Yeah, and we've, obviously given it that funny nickname. That being said, I definitely could see a place for NSFW creator subscriptions. Obviously, being that it'll be, encrypted on chain, you could definitely envision some interesting use cases. When you look at platforms like OnlyFans, these kind of NSFW, private subscription platforms, the platform takes like an enormous percentage. The current plan for only Leos or creator subscriptions is what they're now called, is that it's only going to take 1%. And I actually think, I'm still working on this to see if it's possible, but the current plan is that if you have a small group of subscribers, it'll charge a larger percentage, and as you get more subscribers, the percentage that you pay to the platform will actually decrease. So the current plan is that it'll be like 1% for the percentage that Leo takes from your subscriptions. So if you charge $10, then the Leo ecosystem will take just 1% of that. So that's kind of the current rough plan, but that would give a lot more of the money to the actual creator, which is our goal, obviously. So you could potentially see people with audiences on places like Patreon, Substack, and OnlyFans even moving over to INLEO and bringing their subscribers with them, and saying, hey, subscribe to me here, because the platform doesn't take as big of a fee, so they're incentivized to do that. So again, another point of growth, another way that we can onboard new users and new accounts, is simply that way. I'm just looking through the threadcast, trying to catch up. Speaking of subscriber only mode, Tapster said Cal's the only one who mentioned AI that I saw. That shows how far people are behind. Yeah, at Hive Fest, I didn't really see anybody mention AI. Could be wrong. I'm not sure, but I think I was the only one with a presentation that mentioned that we're working on AI. Obviously, tapping AI into the blockchain is not an easy thing to do. A couple projects asked me how we're doing it, and I was explaining to them how it works. It's very expensive to build, because we have to build out the resources to train the AI model, which we've already done. So they were asking about costs and whatnot, and they're very surprised that we're even capable of doing it. But I think it's something that's very worth investing in. So obviously the cost is a huge barrier. The technology is a barrier. Being able to do it is not an easy task. So yeah, I think AI is just really exciting, and I think at some point every company is an AI company, and a lot of other people are saying that. So I'm not the first to say that, but I definitely agree with it. Serena asked, will we allow NSFW for creator subscriptions? I kind of answered that, but yeah, it's definitely possible. I I could foresee a lot of that happening, and kind of happening behind the scenes. Like you don't even need to know that it's happening if you don't want to. It's private content. It's encrypted on the chain. Only the people that are subscribers to that author will be able to see that stuff. So definitely could be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, OnlyFans is not an NSFW company. There's actually people who have, normal content behind the paywall. But the thing is, we're humans and degenerates, and people just tend to go to certain areas of business, you could say. But in the end, like code name old Leos, it's going to allow people to paywall any kind of content. Like you could just have, I don't know, your crypto call group behind the paywall. You could have your feed pics behind the paywall. You could have, I don't know, thoughts and sharing philosophy behind the paywall. Like whatever. Like it's gonna be up to the creators to decide what they want to put behind the $10, the $1, the $5, etc. So yeah, it's gonna open up the game theory of INLEO a lot more right now, because you have premium on the one hand, and then you're gonna have subscriptions on the other hand. You're gonna have content monetization through votes, but also through attention generation. So yeah, I mean, I would dare say it's gonna be even more game theory-ish than X itself.
Yeah, I agree. It's, being on chain and tokenizing everything, I think is just, it adds so much value to the stack. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Just looking again. There should be an option, a free option, so that content can be hidden and encrypted so it's not posted publicly. I mean, I think if we added that, it would just defeat the purpose of subscriptions. So I don't think we'll do that. But in terms of NSFW on the main feeds, obviously it's not live yet. So if you do NSFW stuff, you'll be prepared to be downvoted and removed from the main feed. But later on, I want to have it so that we have automatic tagging of NSFW content. So if people do post it, it basically just gets hidden from the feeds unless you specifically allow it from the settings, which is actually how X works. So X actually has a whole NSFW section. And when something goes there, it actually is hidden unless you specifically go into settings and choose to see it. So we're going to add something like that. And then, obviously pairing that with the creator subscriptions, a whole new subset of users and audience could come. And at the end of the day, even an NSFW creator and user, they're both monthly active users, just the same as everybody else. So, you just need to give them their own sandbox to play in. And if we do that, I'm totally fine with allowing it. But they just need their own kind of private sandbox to play in outside of the main feeds, because I would say that most people don't want to see that stuff. Whether they're, there's so many different reasons why someone may not want to see that stuff. And that's totally fine. So again, our goal is to give you guys the tools and then let you guys run with it and do whatever you want with them. We're putting the tools on chain. We're building them in a democratized way for a reason. Yeah, creative. I think that's how you say that. Is it possible to make a thread or short monetize forever instead of the 7-day window? Sabrina said, I think this is what the subscription model is trying to solve. It's definitely one piece of the puzzle. The other one is the evergreen rewards from Leo ads that we built in the past that will make a return once Leo ads is relaunched with the new ad model that we've been building for a while. So the evergreen model and then also the creator subscription model will allow people to earn in more ways than just the 7-day payout window. I also talked about that actually on the panel that I did at Hive Fest, which was separate from my talk. But I talked about, the need for us as a platform to get away from the 7-day window as being the only way to monetize. I think it's a good like base, and then you can build other models on top of it, like the referral system or the creator subscription model. So my goal is just to build more tools for you guys.
Yeah.
Are the subscriptions only Leo, only to be paid in Leo? I think is what you mean, Lucretia. No, they will actually at launch. It will be HBD only, kind of similar to premium. and then we're going to add more payment models to it afterwards.
Welcome to INLEO is asking, are you guys tracking new signups from who may not be active on INLEO, but do stay active on Hive or other UIs? Yes, I do run some numbers on that in the general onboarding side of Hive things, but it doesn't count for monthly active users, so it's not you could call it's not an active metric for us. We are definitely going to use that number in the future when the DHF proposal is expired, because in the end, if the user came through INLEO and is still active, even though it's not using INLEO, that counts as a user that we onboarded. So, but it's not a relevant number for our day-to-day metrics.
Nifty approves
Riders.
the feet picks. Yep, he definitely does. Nifty could have his own feet channel. Sabrina said INLEO keeps bringing use cases for HBD, and I love that. Yeah, I talked about that at Hive Fest as well. You know, a lot of people are looking for more use cases for HBD, and you know, we've got premium and we've got other models that we're building. So obviously with Leo ads, you're going to be able to pay in HBD as well, and then you also have creator subscriptions. So we're building more tools and ways that you can actually leverage your HBD, which I think is really important. Tass said democratization of data is crucial. It's a major selling point that we have. Yeah, I agree. And one of the points actually with LeoAI, once I got off stage, some people came up to me and were asking me about it, and saying that they've been waiting for someone to do something like this with blockchain in general. You know, it's a major issue that they actually brought up is that they see that, you know, there's this big fight with Google and other, you know, large data aggregators and the government. And then also, obviously, you know, with other platforms, there's a huge like kind of battle going on right now where they're fighting over who has the rights to data for training AI models. And someone came up to me and we had a really cool conversation where we talked about how LeoAI is very interesting because we use blockchain data to train the model. So obviously, data that's on chain has no you know, it basically has no copyright to it, essentially, because you know, it's on chain, it's freely available on the internet. So it's a different type of data structure, and I think that that's really interesting. Like all the upvote data, you know, the reputation score data, you know, everything that you guys put on the Hive blockchain is freely accessible to AI, but nobody's actually built an AI that can read it. So you know, we've done that, and I think that that's going to be a really interesting leverage point for us. Went on to ask, will there be a payment method for those not on Hive yet? Talking about the creator subscriptions. Yeah, at launch, it's going to be HBD only, similar to premium, but we are working on some you know, we're working on some other payment methods as well. One, I talked with Brian of London in person at Hive Fest as well about integrating his Bitcoin Lightning Network solution. So allowing people to subscribe to premium and creator subscriptions using Lightning Network and Bitcoin to do so. So that is going to probably launch, you know, soon. I don't think it's going to take that long to integrate. So we had a cool conversation about that as well. Verse Solutions said engaging new users has to be a priority. If they're not getting engagement, they won't stay. 100% agree. Like Taskmaster always says, you know, we don't want this place to be a ghost town when people come in. Sabrina said, I'm sure the final push will be awesome. We'll definitely hit 3,000 monthly users this month. Yeah, we're pushing hard. Eric, any thoughts on, you know, hitting 3,000 monthly active users? I know you're working on a lot of things with reaching out to creators on X and other, you know, leverage points, but how are you feeling about the hardcore mission that we have to get to 3K this month?
Yeah, so I think I already mentioned it today, but so in the past year, we have onboarded 13,000 users. It's not about the onboarding, it's about the retention. So whatever we do, it's not going to be enough if the community doesn't help us retain the users that we onboard. Let's just say that Dash brings 200 new users and they start using threads. The only way they are going to stay is if they get a little bit more engagement than they get on X, and if they get, I don't know, like Carl said, a couple of cents more than they would get on X. If we can make that happen as a community, then these people will stop being like, they will stop coming because of Dash. They will stop coming to INLEO because of Dash, and they will start coming back because of the community. The companies, the influencers and the NFT projects that are going to invite their users to be part of INLEO will only help us with the onboarding. The retention depends fully on us. They are not going to keep posting every day, hey, come back to INLEO, comment here. No. We have to take care of that. And actually, Cal and I were talking about an idea of how to create a database, maybe of emails, maybe of X handles or something related to that. With the privacy policy, of course, and all of the legal implications, but so that we can actually tell them, hey, it's been 15 days since you came to INLEO for the last time. So and things like that, so that we can actually take responsibility and what's the word? And be accountable for the retention of these users. Hive lacks retention, and we are going to fix this. INLEO is going to find a way to make these people come back. And of course, social media in general, Web2 in general, the retention metrics are small, but I think that as a blockchain decentralized social media, and as like we have rewards for everyone, I think we can do better. We just need to find a way to keep bringing them back. So
Yeah.
just basically help us as a community, help us to retain these guys, to retain everyone.
CFL closer said, "Are you going to date Miss Bitcoin?" She's really cool. She knows her stuff. Just a really cool person. Really, she's really firmly about blockchain, and she loves Hive and the things that we're doing here as well. So yeah, she was really cool to meet. She presented right before I did on day one as well. Sabrina said, "I thought Cal is married." No, Cal is married to Leo. Influencers. More communities mean more engagement and awareness. Guri, yeah, I agree. Getting more communities is really key. I mean, I've always talked about that, how communities are really, a big leverage point. When you look at kind of like an 80-20 type of analysis, like what 20% of actions get 80% of the results. A big one is going after communities, because if you get if you onboard one really good community, we could literally get 1,000 users and double our monthly active users. So it's just crazy to think about that. Like like our platform is so small right now. The smallest little success is what can really drive just a massive percent change. Which is the nature of being a startup. Like, we can grow at 100% a year for the next 10 years easily. And that's roughly been my plan for a long time. I want us to get to 10,000 monthly active users this year, and then my goal is to grow by 100% every year after that. Because I think you kind of have like this type of trajectory where you need to have a lot of leverage in the beginning. Get to a really good starting point and then double yourself every year after that. So 10,000 MAUs has long been a target of mine. And I want to see that happen. So that is the goal this year. Obviously you guys know that. So 3,000 this month, 10,000 by the end of the year. And I know that we can do it. And like I said, I mean, successfully onboarding one good community could literally take us to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 10,000 even. I asked Dash, Joel from Dash, how many users they have in terms of active wallets. They've got, hundreds of thousands of individual unique wallets transacting Dash on a regular basis. So Obviously people have multiple wallets, that's a thing, but that being said, I don't think it's I don't think it's that crazy to imagine that Dash by itself could literally bring us 1 to 10,000 users on their own. So I'm already talking to them and working closely with them to see if we can do some cool stuff and integrate Dash into the UI.
Nice.
Speaking of Hive Fest and everyone that was there, I see Losi just jumped in the X space. Welcome. It was fun meeting you at Hive Fest. But yeah, I think getting to that path to 10,000 monthly active users is really centered around how can we onboard communities, onboard those high leverage points.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, welcome to INLEO. He's asking, so hitting 10K monthly active users is up to chance at this point and not a clear path from here. No, it is very clear. The path, we have it very clear, and it's definitely a huge chance. I would say, I mean, I would even dare to say it's a certainty at this point. All of the things that were in our path in the past are no longer there. So it's just a matter of retaining the people. As I mentioned, we already onboarded 13,000 accounts this year. So the numbers are in the retention, not in the onboarding. And we're even going to bring in even more users. So it's only a matter so it's September. We have 100 days to get to 10,000 users. Very doable.
Sunseeker said on Dow's report, we saw how INLEO is the front end that is growing the most with an uptrend. So we're achieving it. We just need to keep pushing. Yeah, I mean, we've always been kind of on this nice trend. Even this year, earlier this year, obviously we had a lot to work on from a technology standpoint, but we've still been kind of steadily growing. So what we're just trying to do now is accelerate that growth. That's really just the focus. So yeah, I love seeing Dow's reports about our onboarding activities and seeing that we're growing. My focus is just how can we go bigger and scale more, especially with the bull market coming. I think being that we're kind of crypto centric in a lot of ways, and then also just the nature of how people tend to be when it comes to earning tokens. I think it's just going to be pairing success in terms of onboarding and technology with a bull market is just exponential growth. So that's what we're chasing down. Who said we need more? Guri said we need more communities like Dash. I definitely agree. Talking to the Dash team right now about some really cool integrations. So I think once people see what we're doing with Dash, they're going to start coming to us and asking us if we can do the same for them, which I think we'll be able to do. This one's a good one for Eric. Welcome to INLEO said, is there a known percentage of signups that have become active and remained active?
Yes, there is a known number. There's not an updated number. I would have to run the numbers. But that being said, I ran that data, pulled it from the blockchain around 6 months ago, and the retention metrics from INLEO were the highest ones. And I think after us came PIC-D, and after that, no. It was INLEO, then Like2, then PIC-D. And of course, we are around twice as much retention or twice as better retention than Hive in general. That being said, if I recall correctly, it was like 12%, I think, of users that came back 3 months later. Then 6 months later, it dropped like to 5%. And then a year later, it dropped 2% or something like that. I remember I had the pyramid in an Excel sheet with all of the front ends in the column section. well, in the row section, and then I had after 1 month, how many came back? After 2 months, 3 months, etc. I pulled probably like, I think it was around 3 million lines of data, because I actually had to pull out who was active each month on chain, with votes, with comments, with posts, who onboarded them, and if those users were coming back month after month. So I think I have. Let me just check. I have my eyes closed because that's the way I remember things. But there's, let me check. Should have something called retention here. INLEO retention, February 15, 2024. I'm gonna drop. No, it's not this one. I'm gonna drop an image in the threadcast if I find it. INLEO retention, March 1st.
Yeah, while you
It's
do
this
that,
one. No, it's not this one.
Sabrina
Retention,
said,
maybe.
while you do that, Sabrina said, is it possible
Yeah.
to have a part where we can find new users easily so their threads don't get lost in the crowd and engage with them on the go? Yeah, I think Sunseeker, are you still working on that list that people can follow of new users? I think she's got that going. But yeah, you can use the lists feature if you're premium to both follow and create lists of any user that you want. So you can add any users to it. I know that Sunseeker was working on creating a list of new users that anyone can follow so that you can use that list to follow the feed and then obviously just engage with them in a really easy format. So I'll just wait for her to reply, but I think she's working on that.
Here it is. So this is just the Leo side. Like, there's the Hive in general side. We'll share it here in the threadcast. So I put the retention metrics, and if you can see here in the image, you will see how I measure all the active users on each month, and then I cross these users between each other to see who's been coming back and who hasn't. But it's yeah, and then I have a cumulative, I don't know the word.
Cumulative?
Yeah, cumulative. And it goes down to 140,000, and it's 12 rows. So that's like 1.5 million, and that's just Leo. So yeah, pretty big. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, there is. I just haven't updated it, but I will. Brando 28. By the way, are we gonna just ignore the fact that everything is pumping right now? Yeah, we can talk about that on the AMA next week on the Wednesday show.
Hopefully we'll be over 70K by then.
Hopefully.
Big Fan said we already have more than 3,000 shorts. We can do more. Yeah, I've been very happy with the progress on people posting shorts. So if you don't know, that's the newest feature that we've launched, which is essentially TikTok on the blockchain, which is really exciting. I mean, I was showing that to people at Hive Fest, and they were very impressed that we were able to pull that off. But yeah, I mean, I think the feature is working incredibly well. We're making some more updates to it. I know that some Android users are having a few issues in terms of viewing the shorts feed and getting like a blurry feedback from it. So we're working on that right now, and then a couple other things as well. But the feature in general is working really well. Uploading is working great, and you guys are obviously using it a lot. So I mean, there's some of you that are making dozens of shorts a day. So I love seeing that. And then the Dash team actually posted their first short like 2 hours ago. If you actually scroll to the bottom of the threadcast, you'll see I posted a link to it. But they started posting shorts, and they said they're going to start posting more. So they've got like kind of a 3-step plan for posting content on INLEO. So they've already started. They're doing blog posts from INLEO.io. They're doing shorts, and then they're also doing threads where they're going to be, giving real-time updates and also promoting stuff and then replying. So I've gotten some replies to my threads from Dash team. So they're getting pretty active already. So I love seeing that. So definitely get active in terms of upvoting them and replying to them. Wananda said, I noticed page views on the dashboard has not been visible. Any update on them? Yeah, so we use Simple Analytics for the page views, and I've been working with them to try to make their APIs work better for us. So hopefully, at some point in the near future, we'll have those real-time page views live in the dashboard. But yeah, it'll pull page views from all of your threads, blog posts, shorts, everywhere, and then put them into one place. So that's been something I'm excited to roll out at some point. I think it's just another gamification metric that makes it exciting to use the UI. Guri said, when LeoAI? LeoAI is and I was talking about this at Hive Fest after my presentation because people were curious, but LeoAI is live and it is reading all the data on chain. So within 30 minutes, LeoAI is going to read the thread that you just posted, asking when it's going to come out, which is kind of funny. Some funny meta, but yeah, I'm still targeting by the end of this year. That's when I want to roll it out. So we've got the model obviously built and it's trained and it's being constantly trained in real time. So it just requires some tweaking and, it's not a very easy thing to build, but, it's very resource intensive from a time and money standpoint, but we're getting there. So by the end of this year, I think we'll have it done, but that's a good question for the AMA. Morty, please post those feedback threads as top level threads. AI needs a lot of data. Yeah. Let's leave that for the AMA. Having replies on my shorts makes me want to upload more from Vic Fan. Yeah, engagement. I mean, that's the key word. We keep talking about it. More and more engagement is really critical. Sunseeker posted a reminder for all of us that there's an INLEO shorts contest that is now live. I also know that she sent me a video that I need to post from the X account. So I will post that later today now that she reminded me. So make sure you go participate, get some shorts up there. Wananda said, is there a virtual training session to educate new users on how to use the UI specifically to create long form content? No, but that's a good thing for the community. So you guys can step up and make those tutorials or do, virtual Zooms and launch kind of like masterminds or however you want to do it and teach people how to use the UI. I think that's a good thing to be done from the community standpoint. Sabrina said, is it possible to have a part where we can find new users easily? Oh, I already answered this one. Yeah, Sunseeker, are you working on that list? If you can drop a reply in the threadcast, let us know. Bill Prog, did you check out those NFC cards and tags? Violetta actually made a nice use of them with the guitar picks. Yeah, I really like the guitar pick idea. That's super cool. I have looked into them. I think I'm going to order some custom ones. That was really cool when you showed me at Hive Fest. So yeah, I'm going to work on getting some, and then obviously when I go to events in person, it'll be cool to have those. But yeah, really cool idea. Ben asked, regarding marketing, is there a set of logos, for example, logos that can be printed as a sticker with a QR code? Yeah, there's a bunch of logos floating out there. I know on the docs, there's a media kit section. And then I know the team has a bunch of logos. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely logos out there that you can use. And Eric, I don't know if we have any good links to media kits or anything, but if we don't, we should make some.
Yeah, I think they are on Discord. Let me check. I don't know if they're. I mean, we do have the LeoDex ones, LeoDAPS Media Kit. Yeah, we do have the INLEO Media Kit on Discord. on the channel called Media Kit, and I'll just add the LeoDex ones. Yep. Just write it down.
Yeah, there's logos in the Discord. Yeah, we got them into the Discord as well. Welcome to INLEO said the media kit is skimpy. We need more. Yeah, maybe Eric and the team can get some more made up. I think there's a lot that we could do in terms of like using Canva and just making more media that you guys can share. But also as a community, I mean, take the basic logos and go make more out of them. I mean, there's so much creativity that you can have with that. Again, just trying to get the community involved more and more. You know, the team can only do so much. But you know, the power of the community means getting 1,700 people, you know, actively working on a collective mission. And I think that like with the referral system, you know, being able to earn up to $50 per referral when you sign someone up to INLEO using your referral link, you know, that the whole goal behind that is you know, mobilizing you guys as an ecosystem to all work together. Just catching up on questions. Vic Van said, talking about INLEO at Hive Fest was a really good strategy to advertise INLEO more. Yeah, I mean, obviously at Hive Fest, you've got an audience of people that are already on Hive, and a lot of them already know about Leo. But one thing I discovered is that there's actually a lot of people there that had no idea about INLEO or hadn't been to the UI in so long that they had no idea the things that we're up to. They didn't even know about threads. They had no idea about shorts. So that's one thing I kind of learned at Hive Fest, as well as that internally facing, there's still a lot of people that have no idea of all the things that we've built here. So yeah, I think it was really valuable to go to Hive Fest for a lot of reasons. And then, you know, I think one thing I want to do more, and especially as the UI gets more to a stable point where onboarding is a lot easier, is going to more in-person events. I think I can do a lot of really good onboarding work in person. And that goes for you guys too. Like if there's events locally, you can go to a lot of local meetups. If you look on like Meetup, I think meetup.com, or there's a lot of other meetup websites that are global. There's a lot of like just free crypto meetups that happen all over the place. And if you go to them, you meet people that, you know, want to connect with other people that are on, you know, actively using different crypto tools. And you can show them INLEO in person. You can sign them up. You can get them active. Then you get the, you know, you could literally make $50 per referral. Imagine going to one of these events and onboarding 10 people and you could make $500. So, you know, I mean, you could literally make a full-time career out of just circuiting and going around to these events and selling INLEO in person to people and getting them onboarded. So now that we've got that referral system in place, I mean, there's nothing stopping people from becoming a literal full-time INLEO onboarder as a career. And I think that that's actually viable. So, you know, doing that. And then obviously if you're a Leo token holder, then you're also, you know, kind of pumping your bag, so to speak, by onboarding new people and growing the platform. So yeah, I think the tools that we've built are getting to the point where, you know, it's really just time to put them in front of the right people. So I'm going to start getting more active myself because, you know, I believe in kind of leading from the front lines. So if I'm telling you guys that you should do it, I think I should be doing it too. I'm going to start looking at more kind of local meetups in my area and then going to them. And actually Bill's idea with the NFC tags, that's something I want to start doing as well when I go to them, is he has like these little business cards that have an NFC tag and you can just tap it on phones. And then it actually it takes them to the sign up page with your referral link to inleo.io. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully get some of those made and then start going to these events and maybe you guys will see me become the top referrer to INLEO, which I think would be pretty cool. I think I'm caught up on all mine. I don't know, Eric, if you've seen any other questions or have any other things you want to mention before we jump off of here.
No, not really. I think we went very in depth with a lot of things, and glad that you're back, because that means we're gonna have these AMAs and the growth call. Because I think we took like 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it's basically been 2 weeks. I mean, other than the growth call, all the other shows have been 2 weeks off. So yeah, I'm excited to be back. We actually just rolled out an update to the UI while we've been live. So if you guys do a refresh, a bunch of bugs were fixed. Like I think there's like almost 30 updates in this one. And then we also added, new image handling. So this one's actually really cool. If you do more than one image now, it puts them side by side, kind of like how it does on X. And then if you click on one, there's like an arrow and you can scroll through the full page view of them. So go play with that. A couple other big things were fixed. Taskmaster kept DMing me that something was actually broken with the muting of certain accounts that are spamming. So we fixed that as well. So that is solved. A couple other big things as well. So just refresh the UI and you'll enjoy the bug fixes and new features. Some shorts feed updates I talked about as well. But yeah. I think we're pretty much caught up. Yeah, CFL closers, everyone needs to curate more on threads, and I would say on shorts as well. Yeah, I think more curation is really key. We definitely need more of it. Self Help for Trolls asked if we're still going. We're about to jump off, but the recordings will all get posted probably by tomorrow. And then Sunseeker will work on some cool clips. Bless you, Eric.
Thanks.
Yep.
Didn't forgot to
You're
mute.
Are we able to claim referral earnings yet? Yeah, if you reach the threshold. So no one's reached the threshold yet. We need to see more people using the referral system. I may lower the threshold at some point, but for now, I'm happy with it, with where it's at. Frankly, there's just not a lot of referrals happening. So, and a big referral update actually went out right when I left for Hive Fest. We launched a major update to the referral system, and that update actually now it attaches your referral code to all the links. So if you share a blog post or a thread or a short, you'll notice that on the URL it actually attaches your referral code. So if you share a blog post, for example, on X, or you share a thread on X or any other places, yeah, Self Help for Trolls, the customizable is what I'm talking about. So when you share a link of any kind from the UI, it now attaches your referral code, and then it also places a cookie in the browser of the person who clicks that URL for up to 30 days, so that if they, for example, watch your, like, let's say you share a short on any other platform, a person clicks on that link, they view your short, then they close INLEO. Then let's say like a week later, they for some reason get curious and they open INLEO again, or maybe they go to Google and just randomly find and open INLEO. If they open it and then sign up, you will get that referral, even though they clicked your link 7 days in the past, like in 7 days prior to that, you'll still get the referral for that. So we just made a huge update to the referrals backend to make all that possible. So yeah, it kind of works like Amazon's affiliate program, where like if you share an Amazon affiliate link, then someone buys something like 15 days later, you still get the referral for that. So yeah, start dropping your links I mean, this is now there is now a way to get paid for dropping links everywhere, all over social media for your Hive content, specifically on INLEO. So definitely start. I mean, I really am paying attention and waiting to see when people start catching on and sharing their content outside of INLEO and Hive, and trying to get referrals. It's like I said, I mean, like $50 per referral is not going to last forever. So I would make use of it while you can. Start onboarding people and earning. Yeah, Self Help for Trolls said I'm going to start double posting my Hive stuff everywhere and drop links to the other blogs on Leo. Yeah, I mean, just start sharing links everywhere. I mean, it's so valuable now. But yeah, I think that Monada said we need long form video feature to work. I mean, it works fine for me. I've been using it, so try. If it didn't work for you before, try it again.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
definitely
think
going to use my
we caught up on everything. This was a little bit of like a mixed AMA and growth call. I think just
yeah,
naturally we didn't really have the AMA for the last 2 weeks, so um, so yeah.
yeah.
We will be back to our regular scheduled programming. Taskmaster, I'm sure, is doing Lions Den tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be doing the AMA next Tuesday at noon Eastern, and then obviously Chain Chatter and the Growth Call again next week. Back to everything as it was normally scheduled. Eric, any closing thoughts before we jump out and get back to 3,000, our goal of 3,000 monthly active users?
Basically just double down on what I said. Help us welcome these people, the new people. Without you, it's just gonna be a couple of people, Kyle, Sunseeker, Idiosyncratic, myself, just trying to onboard a ton of people. But if you help us retain them, we are going to get to our goals. So we're gonna do it without you guys.
Let's do it. Let's get after it. Excited to be back. Excited to be full-time building. Taking a week and traveling for the conference definitely takes a lot out of me. But as you can see with the new update, I mean, the machine keeps moving. So let's keep pushing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the Threadcast. We got like 350 comments. So great to be back. Thanks, Eric, for joining. And I'll see you at the Lions Den tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern.
See you guys.